Good evening. This meeting is called to order. At this time, we'll have a moment of prayer. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Lord, thank you for all that you have blessed us with. At this time, please bless the friends and family of Commissioner Frank Sample with the memories of a life well lived. And please watch over them as they endure this difficult time. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. At this time, I invite a close personal friend of Commissioner Frank Sample, Scott Caldy, forward to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Fiani.
Here.
Commissioner Drick.
Here.
Commissioner Helserman.
Here.
Commissioner Domas.
Yes.
Commissioner Nakagiri. Commissioner Deaton.
Here.
Commissioner Panovich.
Here.
Commissioner Gross.
Here.
Quorum is present.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this evening's agenda?
So moved, Mr. Chair. Support Deaton.
Moved by Commissioner Domas, seconded by Commissioner Deaton. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The agenda is approved. We now move into the call of the public. Each person who wishes to address the board will have 3 minutes to do so. Please state your name and residence as well.
Chuck Wright from Handy Township, followed by Steve Williams.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
It's a shame that we have to be here tonight. Frank was a good guy. He was honest and fair whenever I talked to him, even if we disagreed on a subject. And I appreciate his character. I hope that you gentlemen can find someone with the same or better character tonight. I did some research last couple of evenings just on the list of applicants I was able to find online. I assume it's no surprise that I find labor unions to be blood-sucking leeches for their membership and for society in general. One of the gentlemen that's applying tonight, Thomas Boyer, was the 2022 president of the Livingston County Sheriff's Association. Tom Chambers has an article written about him on WHMI's website and also the Livingston Press Post, talking about a meeting back in April 16th, where he was reprimanded for disparaging age-related comments, threatening to humiliate an employee of the township by releasing unproven allegations for egregious mishandling of a complaint against an employee, and for disregarding the township's legal obligation to provide a public employee with the hearing that was requested. Reckless handling of records, and they requested a resignation due to a demonstrated pattern of unethical behavior, creating legal exposure for the township and perpetuating conduct unbecoming of an elected official. I hope you gentlemen inquire about that during the interview process. Carlton Cross is an employee of Pinckney Township. To me, that seems like it creates an interesting situation where the village would have an employee that's also a commissioner. Most everybody on the list that I was able to find seemed to be a Republican. Most of them seem to have run for office. One gentleman stood out in my mind. He did unsuccessfully run as Putnam Township trustee, But he's a current member of the Board of Review for Putnam Township. And that's Norris Hardiman. And anybody that's willing to be on the Board of Review and try to save people on taxes is okay in my book. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve Williams, Marion Township.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Good evening. I am sorry to be here as well. It's a beautiful evening. We should all be out fishing or something like that, but I do appreciate you guys taking this on. And I know when I was up there, I had to go through the process to replace people for whatever reason. And so I appreciate you taking it seriously. I have not been able to do my research yet on these candidates, so I don't have anything to add about them in particular, which I feel negligent as an intel officer, but it's been busy. I don't know if any of them are attorneys. I know that at least two of you have taken this oath along with Madam Clerk, and you're familiar with that. And all I would ask is that if someone does come in, they're applying and they're an attorney, ask if they are going to abide by the oath that they took. I know it starts out the same way as the oath that commissioners take. I will support in the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of the State of Michigan. But there's a few more things in there that I have found sorely lacking in my recent experience in our court system. And as you know, I've said before, dealing with Judge Susan Longsworth, that has been the rudest experience I have had in my entire life, before and after I was a commissioner here in Livingston County. And there are a few things that I would like these folks to be held to. For instance, I will abstain from all offensive personality and advance no facts prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness, unless required by the justice of the cause which I have charged. I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself the cause of the defenseless or oppressed, or delay any cause for lucre or malice. Now, not only did I have to deal with this judge, my family is suffering from this judge, but she hired somebody who I can go down here point by point. I won't take my whole 3 minutes, but this gal, who was supposed to represent the child, violated the majority of these tenets of the lawyer's oath as presented by the State Bar of Michigan, particularly with the question of charging for something that the client did not agree to. Remember, her client is a child who met her 15 minutes in the first month and 15 minutes in the second month, or seventh month rather, for a total of $15,000 charged to both families. I'm pretty sure that that child would have a lot more to spend that $15,000 on, especially considering that the recommendation she did make to Judge Longsworth put that child in more danger, created more cost for the family, and made life much more inconvenient for him. And those recommendations and those changes to what was already existing, remember, we went there to have enforcement of orders that were already put in place. Thank you.
Thank you.
You did the 15 seconds. I didn't see it. I apologize.
I have no further cards.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the room who wishes to address the board? Seeing no one, is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to participate in the call of the public?
There's nobody on Zoom.
Thank you. We will go ahead and begin the interview process. So just to recap, the application opened on August 10th. It was open for 1 full week. It closed immediately at 5 p.m. on August 17th. We have 9 applicants this evening. These 9 individuals will be interviewing for the District 3 County Commissioner seat. Each applicant will have 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes, to share whatever they wish with the board. Then there'll be an additional 12 minutes for commissioners to ask questions of the applicants. we'll try and keep things moving along. And at this time, and we will proceed in alphabetical order, going from A to Z by last name. So at this time, I welcome our first applicant.
Is somebody to get them or? Get them?
Oh, Administrator Byrd. And so Administrator Byrd is going to bring forward our first applicant.
Afternoon. Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our first applicant is Mr. Thomas Boyer. You'll have 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board, and then we'll follow up with questions.
Okay, well, I'm Iosco Township resident. I've lived there for 13 years, raised 4 children there. I started my service to Livingston County in 1999 as a sheriff's deputy. I worked 3 years in a jail and then proceeded out to the road patrol for the last 22 years of my career. In that time, I got to see a lot of growth and a lot of changes in this county. Excuse me. I'm here because this county is really growing and I'm looking to have insight and help to guide it in a direction that keeps it the way we want it, the way it is, conserve our rural areas, not to stifle expansion, but to control it. And so it's beneficial for our community. You know, I'd like to spend the rest of my retirement here in Livingston County, and I would like to see it continue to be a positive place and a good place to live.
At this time, is there anything else you wish to share?
No, other than that, my wife and I, we spend a lot of time on our farm. We have 4 horses and, you know, we just enjoy the area and we want to kind of maintain it. You know, I see the areas around us that are failing and we don't seem to have that problem here. We have a board that has, as long as I've been here for 27 years, has always looked forward and protected the interests of the citizens of this community. And I would very much like to be a part of that.
Thank you. Are there any questions among the commissioners? Commissioner Deaton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Boyer. From time to time, the commissioners will take on an action or an issue or something that a constituent brings up and work it. Is there something you see as like maybe the one top issue if you were selected that you would want to work, and how would you work it?
I would like to be involved in issues pertaining to the law enforcement and public safety area of this community. It's really what I know. And I think that as we grow, it needs to be addressed and continue to grow along with us to support the community.
Anything in particular with law enforcement that's going on?
That's going on now.
Yeah, any issues you see or?
It's not really an issue. I would like to see more cars.
Okay.
I would like to see more patrols out there.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Helserman.
Several years ago, the county discontinued coverage for abortion. for county employees. They were free to have it on their own, but not at county expense with county. Could you talk a little bit about that issue? And would you seek to leave it as it is, or would you like to have the county again cover abortion?
Well, I think currently as it sits, if it's a life-threatening thing, that they still will pay for it. I don't think that, in my opinion, I don't support abortion. So it was never a topic for me when they made that change. I think at times it is used as a form of birth control, and I don't support that, and I don't think that the county should support that either. I supported the decision that the county made when they made it. And
Okay.
I don't see a need to change it.
Okay, thank you.
Additional questions? Commissioner Gross.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Boyer, when you were president of the County Sheriff's Association, were you in charge of the group that was the road division or the jail division?
At that time, the road and jail divisions were as one unit, one
Oh,
union.
one unit.
Yes.
Following up on Commissioner Helserman's comments, at that point in time, there was abortion language in your union contract, and there was quite a bit of discussion on that point, and ended up that the county ended up buying your union's willingness to take the language out. Were you endorsing that at that point?
I wasn't endorsing that as the union president. I was a steward for the people. So the majority of the people wished to keep it the way it was. It was not a personal fight for me. I was representing the individuals in my union.
Membership wanted that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Nakagiri.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Boyer. Appreciate it. You had mentioned in your opening remarks, the growth and changes to the county, conserve rural areas. It sounds like that's a policy priority for you.
I'm sorry?
A policy priority for you to conserve rural areas? Did I understand?
Is it a policy?
Yeah, is it one of your priorities?
To maintain the integrity of this county the way it is, yes, that would be a high priority.
I'm curious on what other priorities you have in terms of shaping the county as a commissioner. What stands out as with higher importance than others for you?
As far as development or just
Anything.
I would like to see the development and the growing of this county. I won't say, I would like it to fit the community. It would be important for me to help guide the development and the growth of this county along with the I'm at a loss for words, to maintain the type of relationships and the type of communities that we share. You get too big and we end up like Highland Township where you can't walk across the street. I would like to see it fit with what we already have.
Okay, thank you.
Any additional questions?
Me.
Commissioner Drake,
I've got some yes or no questions. They'll be fast.
All right.
the lightning round.
Are you willing to spend your money and time campaigning to defend your seat in future elections, such as in 2028?
Yes,
Okay. Do you agree to remember that every vote you cast must support the Michigan and United States constitutions?
yes,
Okay. Will you also be sure to read them often?
yes,
Finally, do you recognize and agree that every vote you cast must stay 100% within the 21 enumerated statutory Board of Commissioner duties? It's like we're in a silo. That means essentially we can't do anything about roads, utilities, K through 12 education, clothing, housing, insurance, food needs, or charity. You understand that we're in a silo?
yes.
Very good. Any thoughts about what two things we do right and what two things we might do wrong?
This board has always been a good steward for this community. It always has a balanced budget. There is never, we are never concerned about, well, it doesn't seem that they're concerned about running in the black because they have set forth policies and run this county efficiently. I think that's amazing considering some of the surrounding counties that we have don't operate that way. I do like the way that it's kind of one-sided that they've always supported the sheriff's department through budget problems. It always seemed to work out. You know, Mike Murphy is an amazing leader and he, I think works well with you guys to keep our place up and running and in good shape. I don't know about improvements, I guess. I mean, there's always room for improvements, I guess. You know, when contract times came around, you know, it was always, you know, us against, you know, it was us against them, right? And you being them. But I do understand that on the other side of that, you guys have responsibilities and you have to look out for the greater good, not just one group of us. So I can appreciate the position that it puts you in.
Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Well, we certainly thank you for coming in this evening and greatly appreciate your time. Are there any other questions? Oh, Commissioner Domas.
Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you very much for being here this evening. That we live in a country where citizen participation is the strongest thing that we have to keep our ability to maintain a safe and intelligent environment here in this county. And there's always room for improvement. And so my question to you, my thought to, I wish you would share with the rest of us is, do you see anything that you particularly would like to amend or adjust or spend your time at? Is there anything that county government does that you feel you fit best at?
With regards to,
With regards to the functions of a county commissioner, what you would support, what you would ask to be on a committee dealing with public safety, for instance, or public health?
public safety, I would like to be involved in that aspect for the county board. Anything to do with the road or drain commissions, I would also be interested in. Maintenance of our roads, I mean, I have great stuff out by me, but I know other areas maybe not so hot. Those would be my top three to be involved with. I'm not, you know, the health and that probably wouldn't be my first choice. to be on the board, but I would never say no. It's always something that we can learn from and adapt to.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you for coming in and taking the time to apply and interview this evening. We greatly appreciate it. That concludes this segment. So
Okay,
you're welcome to Administrator Bird will bring in the next gentleman. You're welcome to step out. You're welcome to stay here this evening. You're welcome
Okay.
to sit in as well if you wish. It's an open meeting. And then we will be making a decision this evening, though.
okay.
Thank you. But you are not required to stay if you have to head out.
No, I have no.
Okay. The next candidate we have this evening is Mr. Dennis Brennan. Good evening, Mr. Brennan.
Good evening.
You will have up to 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board. You don't have to use all 3 minutes, but you'll have up to 3 minutes. And then there'll be about 12 minutes or so for the commissioners to ask any questions that they wish. So
Okay.
you may begin.
All right. So good evening again, Mr. Chairman and commissioners. Thank you for this opportunity for me to present to you why I consider myself a well-qualified candidate to fill the vacancy on the Board of Commissioners. The unique set of skills I've developed over many years in business and government will allow me to assist you in carrying out your stated mission of delivering quality services within the constraints of sound fiscal policy. My business experience includes a career in financial services that spanned nearly 40 years and presented a wide variety of challenges. Early in my career, I was given a great piece of advice. Always make your boss look good. So anything I could do to help my boss meet those challenges made the boss look good, but it also helped me advance. And that's how I went from an entry-level bookkeeper to operations manager at Detroit's Renaissance Center office in just 4 years. In 1991, I started a consulting firm. Our clients included the Bank of Boston, State Street Bank, US Bank, Shawmut National Bank, and the Finance Authority of Maine. Our team provided a variety of services from account reconcilements to policy and procedure writing, establishing internal controls, and managing major projects involving the acquisition of other banks' municipal trust departments. I retired from consulting in 2015, and throughout those years, I kept that sage advice in mind, always striving to make my clients look good. My first foray into public service began with taking out nomination papers at the age of 17 and being elected a town meeting member in Plymouth, Massachusetts, 2 weeks after turning 18. I later served on the advisory board of another township in Massachusetts. We scrutinized the town's budget, interviewed department heads, and made recommendations as to whether to pass or reject each line item on the budget at the town meeting. In 2016, I decided to use my experience and skills to once again enter public service, and I chose to run for supervisor of Putnam Township. Over the years, I worked cooperatively with other elected officials and department heads to present annual balanced budgets. Throughout my tenure, the township continued to receive accolades from our auditor for a well-managed budget. As this board enters the budget season, I am prepared to hit the ground running by actively participating and hopefully adding some valuable input in your budget work sessions. I strongly believe I will add value to this board while helping to maintain your strong fiscal conservative principles. Thank you, and I look forward to answering any questions.
Any questions among the commissioners? Commissioner Deaton.
I guess for the sake of fairness, I'll ask the same question. So from time to time, commissioners will lead or champion a project or an issue in the county. Do you see one issue in the county that you would, if you were elected to, or bring it onto the board, you would like to champion? And how would you do it?
It's a good question. I think I've had some experience working with the sheriff's office, so if there's an opportunity to work with the sheriff and his department on ways to improve coverage for the sheriff's department, that would be great. I also, I have experience working with building department, drain commission. I mean, any of those areas. But honestly, I think I'd be open to chairing any effort that the county needs.
Do you see any, like, one topic that's hot right now that you'd work?
Not really.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Appreciate it.
Oh, Commissioner Helserman.
This is you would be representing this district.
Mhm.
And the proof of whether we make a good decision or not is if you run in 2 years, if you're elected, if the people choose you, because we want to have the person that represents your district well.
Yes.
Just talk a little bit about how you see yourself representing the bigger district that's bigger than Putnam Township. And how do you think you're reelectable? That sort of thing.
Well, I think that hopefully the thing that will make me reelectable is doing a good job as a commissioner. So I'm certainly going to strive for that. How do I serve the other townships outside of Putnam? I believe that going and visiting those townships and speaking with them, going to their township board meetings and planning commission meetings and things like that to find out what their issues are and find out from them how the county Board of Commissioners can help them. So I just believe that getting out there and talking to people, going to community events, going to their meetings will help me to get a handle on where they are, where they stand, and how I can help them. And I think in doing that, then they'll see that I care enough to be there, and hopefully they'll turn around and reelect me in 28.
And other questions? Commissioner Gross.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Brennan, in your letter of interest, you indicate you're a conservative.
Yes.
This board has been 100% conservative for a period of time, to the extent of, as you may or may not be aware, we've fought the battle in favor of right to life. I mean, what are your thoughts with respect to right to life?
I'm 100% right to life. There's no question in my mind about it. I am a member of Cornerstone Church, and Cornerstone Church has a very strong stand on right to life, and I agree with it 100%. I have been a staunch conservative even when I was in Massachusetts. I moved back to Michigan in 2009, but when I was in Massachusetts, my handle was the Lonely Mass Conservative. And when I came to Michigan, it didn't take me long to get involved. Wes can tell you, I met him through party politics in 2010, and immediately became a precinct delegate so that I could fight for the conservative principles and conservative candidates. I've been to several state conventions over the years. I think I served 10 or 12 years as a precinct delegate and went to most of the state conventions during that time.
Thank you, sir.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Nakagiri.
Mr. Brennan, I remember when we met back in the 2010 era down in Hell.
Yes.
So, I read through your submission, and I concluded you had looked at our strategic plan.
Yes.
Would like your comments on that and, what elements of that plan I think are, I'll just say, most important to you?
I think the, probably the most important is maintaining fiscal responsibility in all of the points that were made in that regard versus, with regard to, reviewing costs to make sure that the expenditures each year are necessary, to look at policies and procedures and look at vendors to make sure that that you're getting the value for each vendor and not spending too much. In other words, looking at perhaps getting competitive bids and things like that. All of these, the fiscal issues, and the whole section about maintaining quality services at the same time while trying to stay within the means of the county. I understand the fiscal constraints of the county. I've had discussions with Sheriff Murphy about those restraints because he's well aware of them too. He's had to deal with that, and he's had to deal with the townships who want more service, but they're not willing to pay for it. So I was able to successfully get our township to contract with the Sheriff's Department on 3 different occasions. And I guess I believe that there was nothing in that strategic plan. Let's put it this way. There was nothing in that strategic plan that I disagreed with. So it was well in line with my fiscal conservative values.
Thank you.
That rounds out our time for this
It
segment.
does.
So we certainly appreciate you coming
Okay.
in this evening and taking the time to apply. You're not required to stay, but you're certainly welcome to stay. And Minister Byrd is happy to take you back to the conference room.
All right, thank you.
The next gentleman we have this evening is Mr. Tom Chambers. Good evening, Mr. Chambers.
Good evening.
You will have up to 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board, and then there'll be another 12 minutes or so where the board will ask you questions and go from there. So
Okay.
you're welcome to begin.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate this opportunity. Terrible circumstances. I got to work with Frank over the last year and a half. And we spoke regularly on a number of different issues, local, topics, and got to know him very well. And this is very unfortunate. So I'll start off by saying that. And, I think when I saw the opening, I felt compelled to offer my services. And basically, I've got experience in public service and serving on a board, township board for the last 10 years, nearly 10 years, and learned a lot. I learned that there is a political environment that you, as a board, need to navigate that. And so I watch you guys from a distance, and one of the reasons that compelled me to offer my services was that I think you all are doing a great job. I appreciate what you stand for, appreciate you having a backbone, and you've got a vision and a plan, and I see myself as a good fit with you all. So I just want to be supportive. You've got the master plan, you've got your vision for the future, and I would like to assist with that. I don't have any intentions of trying anything different in a different way. So like I said, I'd like to support you all. I come from a family of farmers down in Putnam Township, and I can relate to the people. Elected as supervisor this last term, and got to know a lot of the residents, and for Putnam Township and others, Unadilla, Iasco, comes down to rural character, that way of life of, being able to buy a little piece of property. And we have lakes districts in Putnam, and that's important to our residents as well, to preserve that, the water and that. So that would be, if I could represent the constituents of my district, that's what I would aim to do, is to preserve the rural character. That's a big part of it. Also, I really appreciate that you guys, you're fiscally conservative, and I'm fiscally conservative, and that's what I will also bring to the table, that mindset. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions among the commissioners?
I'll go.
Commissioner Drake.
Couple of easy yes or no's.
Okay.
Are you willing to spend your time and money campaigning to defend your seat in future elections, such as in 2028?
Yes.
Do you agree to remember that every vote you cast, you must support the Michigan and federal constitutions?
Absolutely, yes.
And do you recognize and agree that we're kind of in a silo? Even though you vote on many things, you've got to stay inside the 21 enumerated statutory duties, which do not include roads, utilities, K through 12 education, clothing, food, charity, insurance. All those things we might have opinions about, but
Okay.
we don't
Yeah.
have authority. You agree to that, stay in the silo?
Yes.
Good. What two things might we do right? What two things might we do wrong
As a board, or?
as a board?
I hope that we follow our vision financially, stay within the boundaries. That could also be something that we do wrong. So we have to be very careful and diligent and looking forward on any spending issues. Second one would be, I think we want to stay united in a sense that we want to take different ideas from different districts and come together and proceed that way together.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other, Commissioner Deaton?
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chambers, any projects or actions in the county? You've been here, your family's been here like 6 generations. You see a lot of change. Is there like one thing you would champion if selected for the board, and how would you work it?
The rural character of our county is very important. I don't, honestly, very truly, I don't want to see us trying to generate revenue based on an extreme amount of growth. I think is a bad idea. We're there in Putnam Township, our services are basically maxed out. So you always have to weigh those things. You have to be mindful of that, growth. That's something I champion, though, is Putnam Township. If you looked at our master plan, talks a lot about rural character. We have a large equine, I would call us kind of an equestrian hub. And it's definitely something I would advocate for, the farmers, agriculture.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In that we are representatives of all of our district, there's obviously people that did not vote for us, but it's our responsibility to represent everyone. How would you represent the people that did not vote for you?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I think the way we present ourselves, and I'd be the first one to say over the course of the last 10 years, I've not always been on the up and up as far as being perfectly mature. But over the years, I feel like I've come to know that that's important to not be extremely divisive and but very, we are who we are. I don't want to hide that. There's no shame in in what we are as a county, is being fiscally responsible, and yeah, that's about what I'd say for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Gross?
Thank you. Mr. Chambers,
Yes, sir.
this board has been ultra conservative for the last number of years, at least as long as I've been on the board. We are very pro-life. I'm wondering what your thoughts are with respect to right to life.
I'm extremely pro-life. That's great to hear. Very conservative. We as a board would, I mean, and you all know, you're the last standing as far as there's a lot of pressures to compromise our beliefs, and I appreciate you saying that just now, and I agree with that, and that's how that's my approach as well, being fiscally responsible and very conservative.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Nakagiri?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chambers, for applying and joining us tonight. Looking at your resume, I wanted to ask a couple questions on that, and then I have some others that you mentioned. Friends of Lakeland Trail board member. What is that?
So as a township, we have a seat at the table, so to speak, for the Friends of the Lakeland Trail organization. And they champion the Lakeland Trail that runs through Hamburg, Putnam, Unadilla. That is that's really the scope of the group, is that we try to support that trail.
Is that a governmental entity? Is that a nonprofit?
It is, I believe it's a nonprofit. A little bit new to that organization, but it very truly, it's not really active. Lakeland Trail was a big project several years ago, and so we still try to support the Lakeland Trail, but I think a gentleman may have been looking at ways to support trail systems around the Lakeland Trail.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And then the School of Agriculture, MSU, did you get a degree in agriculture?
No, I did not. No,
Okay.
I was in dairy management.
A degree in dairy management?
That's, no, just I took classes for dairy management.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Share with me your thoughts on tax policy for the county. What are your perspectives on raising taxes or raising revenue?
I just really don't like to compromise in that area. I think it's a really once you start compromising or start looking into the future to allow yourself to compromise, you start, I've seen where maybe spending gets a little bit lax and maybe the approach is, approach to a budget is, it really, there's a really hard line there as far as having a balanced budget and also coming out in the black at the end of the year. Yeah, it's a pretty firm line for me as far as not wanting to raise taxes.
How do you, with your desire not to raise taxes, what do you do? What does a leader do to facilitate that ability to not raise taxes?
I think having that vision into the future is part of it. I think that, being responsible, it really comes down to the cent. I mean, you got to know where you have to be able to go lean and in certain times. In Putnam Township, we had an opportunity to do a pay freeze to have a balanced budget, and that was a method that I supported. The fact of the matter is our revenue was getting cut, and that is kind of the first go-to, is a pay freeze. Once you compound it over years, it adds up. So that is on the table. Let's put it that way, is an option to manage that.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. We are winding down on the allotted time, so we thank you for coming in this evening and we appreciate you submitting your application.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're invited to stay, but you're not required to stay. And Administrator Berg can direct you to the conference room if you do wish to hang out here.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. The next applicant we'll be interviewing this evening is Mrs. Ann Gebauer. Good evening. So you will have up to 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board, after which the board will have about 12 minutes or so to ask questions, and we'll go from there. So the floor is yours.
Excellent. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. Before I begin, I want to express my sincere condolences to Commissioner Frank Sample's family and to all who knew and respected him. I had the privilege of working with Commissioner Sample, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have experienced firsthand his kindness, dedication, and genuine commitment to the people of Livingston County. I extend my heartfelt sympathy to his family and everyone who had the privilege of working alongside him. My name is Ann Gebauer. While I have not had previously held an office, I believe my professional experience, involvement in local government, and current work in state government have prepared me to contribute meaningfully to this commission. My professional background includes electrical engineering, project management, accounting, budgeting, tax preparation, financial management, and small business ownership. These experiences have taught me to look carefully at the numbers, understand how decisions affect people and organizations, and think beyond the immediate issue to its long-term consequences. I have also spent years engaged with local government. My involvement with Iosco Township began well before my 2024 campaign for Township Treasurer. I attended meetings, studied renewable energy and land use issues, asked questions, and worked to understand how decisions made at the county, township, and state levels affect residents. Today, through my work in a Michigan legislative office, I have the opportunity to see government from another perspective. I have gained firsthand exposure to constituent services, legislative research, state government, and the relationship between state policy and local communities. That state-local connection is especially important to me. Energy, infrastructure, development, agriculture, public safety, and fiscal responsibility do not exist in separate boxes. Decisions made at one level of government can have real consequences at another. If appointed, my commitment would be to listen carefully, study the facts, respect the responsibilities of the county commission, and work constructively with my fellow commissioners, county staff, township officials, and residents.
You're
Okay.
welcome to conclude.
I also understand the appointment to this position comes with a responsibility to continue learning. I would not pretend to have all the answers on day one. I would bring preparation, curiosity, humility, and all willingness to consider different perspectives before making decisions. I respectfully ask for your consideration, and I would be honored to serve Livingston County and approach this responsibility with professionalism, fiscal discipline, humility, and a genuine commitment to the people of District 3. Thank you for your time and consideration. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Question. Commissioner Deaton.
Same question. From time to time, commissioners will take on a project or champion a resolution. Do you see anything in our county that you would like to champion, and how would you do
it? Well, I was looking at the strategic plan that you had recently passed in August of 2026. And I was impressed with the list. Many of the things that are on your list are me. And so I've been working on these things in the background. The model for conservative governance is one of your policies. And that, to me, is viewing government as a servant. That was an issue back in 2020, where we didn't have government as a servant, but more as a master. And so I would be interested in being a part of policy that aligns with that. Another thing that I currently do is the issue of preserving county's rural character. That is a big issue with me, and I've been dealing with that in our local township. I thought the one that made me smile was the leader in continuous improvement. That's an engineering thing. What we do in engineering is you watch the product, you watch the processes, and you're looking for input from team members to improve, reduce costs, make things efficient. So to see that on this list made me smile. So engineering is in the commission. The other one I really is one that I was working on is superior transparency and communication. That was an issue that I, when I ran for office as treasurer, that I worked at. I really wanted to improve our communication from our board to our residents. A lot of times I feel that if the residents are informed, it makes things for more peaceful change. And then the other issue that you have on your list is a safe place to raise a family. It is a good goal. That particular one I have not worked on specifically because that's usually public safety and infrastructure.
Thank you,
So-
Mrs. Gebauer. Just a follow-on question. You mentioned preserving the rural character. What kind of thoughts do you have on to keep Livingston as a rural community?
When you have your master plan, I'm not sure if that's the term on the county level, but it's always good to look at whatever policy that we have and judge it against the plan and the guiding principles, which I believe the strategic plan may follow as a master plan. I'm not sure. So forgive me, this is my ignorance now.
Thank you.
Anything else I can answer for you?
Commissioner Hausman?
Yes, glad to have you here tonight. You are the only one that is applying at this point that is working in state government. How do you picture your connections at the state government to assist Livingston County and this board in managing our relationship with the state and, maybe getting funds, or how do you picture what you do at the state to be helping this board?
Oh, excellent. I have seen they're changing the process for some of the extra projects. The timeline has a tendency to change a little bit. As a member of a state legislature, I would be aware of those dates. Those dates would come through my office. That would probably be an assistance. I've gained connections working in the legislature as a staff member in the district I work in, which is another conservative county of Lapeer. It's those connections, I believe, are also helpful. Yeah, I think that would suffice for an answer.
Thank you.
Commissioner Drake?
Are you willing to spend your time and money campaigning to defend your seat in future elections such as 2028?
Absolutely.
Do you agree to remember that every vote you cast must support the Michigan and federal constitutions?
Absolutely.
Do you recognize and agree that every vote you cast must stay inside the 21 enumerated statutes, sort of like a silo, and that our duties do not include doing resolutions that include roads, utilities, K through 12 education, clothing, housing, insurance, food, or even charity? That they're just not our topics. We don't have power. You understand that?
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Gross?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Gebauer, you're currently working for a state representative.
Yes.
Do you foresee that you're going to be able to continue working for him if you were appointed to be on this board?
Yes. I've talked to the office that I work in, and he actually is very supportive. We would be able to do both. We can flex our time a little bit, so it allows us to serve in both areas, I believe.
I have one additional question, if I may. In your cover letter, you indicate that you believe in conservative principles. This board has been for a number of years 100% solid conservative. And in that regard, we are 100% pro-life.
Mhm.
I'm wondering what your position is with respect to pro-life, right to life.
Absolutely. I am right to life supporter. I've attended a number of their events through my work as well as personal.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Nakagiri?
Thank you very much. Share with me your thoughts on, if you're appointed, how you will, what issues would you envision campaigning on? What would you tell the voters about yourself, that your accomplishments, why they should reelect you?
I look at Commissioner Sample and who he was and why they elected him. He was a businessman, and I believe that his constituents appreciated that. I would highlight that fact. I am conservative. I have always admired the way this county has been run. And so I appreciate the strategies that's on this plan. And I would continue to run under very conservative principles.
Thank you. Thank you.
That nears the conclusion of the allotted time, so we thank you for coming in this evening, and we certainly thank you for taking the time to apply.
Thank you.
You're invited to stay, but you're not required to stay. So if
Okay.
you'd like, you're welcome to head back to the conference room.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next applicant we have this evening is Mr. Norris Hardiman. Good evening, Mr. Hardiman.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Doing well. You will have up to 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board. And then there'll be about 12 minutes or so for the board to ask questions and go from there. So at this time, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Just want to say the reason I'm applying to be a commissioner is because I love the way this county is run. You guys are doing a great job, and I would like to be able to contribute to that good work that you've done. I believe my skills as an engineer will contribute to the ongoing success here. I have a strong attention to detail, whether it would be reason resolutions, contracts, proposals, policy, and I like to flush out those fine details and those things. My analytical skills provide an opportunity to deep dive information and determine how components work together or for or against one another. And for me, finding the root causes and working towards resolutions brings me a high level of satisfaction. Success for me sometimes just comes through working through the details. As far as that goes, engineering and running a county, I think there are things that we have in common, namely working within a budget and optimizing resources for the best possible outcome, meeting requirements and dealing with the constraints of regulations and objectives for cost, timing, and quality are paramount to both engineering and running a successful county. The most important aspect of my work ethic, anyway, would be teamwork. Here, I have no explanation of coming in as an army of one. I know I have a lot to learn. I will ask questions, listen to the opinions of others, and learn from the experience and knowledge of the commissioners. I am willing to and able to listen and learn from this group of 8, and because we are all working to make Livingston the best. I personally have an even temperament. I don't get excited or anxious, and I don't seek the spotlight. I like to listen. I'll ask questions when appropriate, and if a vote is required, I'll do that. I'll talk when it's warranted, but I will not do so if not necessary. So I appreciate your time, and I would be honored to work with you in order to keep Livingston County great. So thank you, and I would be happy to answer any of your questions.
Thank you. Any questions? Commissioner Deaton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Hardiman, from time to time, commissioners will find an issue or champion a project that's important to the county. Do you see one project that rises above that you'd want to champion, and how would you work it?
At first I would find out everything I could about it. And I would try to find out what the end goal of that process would be. If it's something that's important to me, I'll gravitate to it naturally. I don't have an issue with digging in, doing the hard work, and making things go, if you will. So It just depends, you know. Because one thing I think would have been really great for me would have been the constitutional county that you
Okay.
passed some while back. That one really
We're
spoke
still
to
waiting
me.
for those signs to go up.
I'm sorry.
We're still waiting for those signs to go up.
So, yes, so I could definitely see digging into things like that or anything, right? I mean, I'm here to serve the county, serve the people, and do the best job I can.
And looking at the future, do you see like one project here in the county that rises above that you think is important?
I think the thing to me that's really important, that's an ongoing thing, is maintaining our county the rural nature of our county. That one to me, because that is the reason that's what drew me here, was the nature of the county, and I like to see that maintained. So that would be very important to me. That would be something I'd be really interested in working on.
Thank you, Mr. Hardman.
Commissioner Helserman, I know you routinely had the questions. Do you have
Okay,
one down?
Just let me know if this is off bounds.
Okay.
I hope it's not. Our county has a reputation and of being racially biased. Okay. How would you deal with that if you were sitting in this seat, in these seats? So how?
Yeah.
Just tell me a little bit about, because we have to deal with that regularly. How would you deal with that if that subject came up?
Well, for one, I remain calm because that's what we need. Two, to me personally, I would relate my personal experience here. I've been for over 5+ years. I've never had an issue. The people have been genuine, kind, salt of the earth kind of people, the people that give you the shirt off their back. I have seen no evidence of that in my experience. So to me, relating my experiences and saying, yeah, that was a long time ago. One person that you can really relate to was a Democrat, excuse me. And so, that is not an issue. That is something that's trumped up by those who have an issue with us and what you guys are doing and what the county is doing and progressing and just doing great things. So I don't see it as an issue for me personally, but I'll handle it that way because that is my experience here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Drake.
Thank you. Are you willing to spend your time and money campaigning to defend your seat in future elections such as 2028?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Do you agree to remember every vote you cast must support both the federal Constitution and Michigan constitutions?
Absolutely.
Do you recognize and agree that every vote you cast, you must stay 100% within the 21 enumerated statutory duties given to a board of commissioners? And we can't stray outside. We're like in a silo. Do you understand that?
Yes, I.
And even though there might be terrific reasons we don't get involved at all in roads, utilities, K through 12 education, clothing, housing, insurance, food, or even charities. You understand? They're just not our authority.
Yeah, I'll stay in that wheelhouse.
Very good. Thank you.
Any additional questions among the commissioners? Commissioner Gross.
Thank you, Gary. Well, Mr. Hardeman, looking at your resume, you're an engineer and very well qualified in that area. This board at some point in time in the future might get involved in the discussion and potential improvements of data centers and solar farms. Do you have any thoughts on those two eventualities?
I can say in general, I am not a fan of them, but I understand that they are needed. But I think the bigger goal here is local control and trying to retain as much of that as possible. I try to say this here. Yeah, I mean, we can't avoid it as a whole, but I think we can manage where it goes as much as possible and save ourselves a lot of hassle with the consent of the local municipalities where they're proposed. So I know this is a very contentious issue, and it's not one that's going to be easy to resolve because there's a lot of pressure from the state level at this point in time. And as long as we have the current administration, it's going to continue to be a major issue. So I know our hands are probably tied somewhat, especially on the solar farms, because of the, I forgot the name of the number of the resolution.
33.
Yeah. But, so I know we're somewhat hand tied on that, but I think we can fight like hell to try and, avoid that if possible. I know the solution isn't necessarily easy, but it's a tough one. It's one that we have to fight hard against.
Couple of additional questions. You've got a full-time job, day job.
Yeah.
You see yourself having a conflict with being with us most Monday nights?
Nope. This Monday night, I'm fine. Not an issue with Monday nights. Or, and I'll put in the extra time as needed. I mean, my life is, for the most part in the evenings, is free, outside of, county politics, but, I'll do what I can first to the board and then everything else.
And then one last question. I think you're aware that this board has been and is 100% conservative. And along with that, we are 100% pro-life. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are with respect to right to life.
I am absolutely on board with that. Life is sacred and it should be protected down to the last cell. All children are innocent and they should not have that. They should not have that destruction imposed upon them. So I am 100% pro-life. I am 100% Second Amendment. I'm 100% fiscal responsibility. I'm a conservative Republican all the way through and through. So I stand for all the principles that conservatism stands for.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Nakagiri.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm very appreciative of Mr. Hardeman. I know he has a grasp of history because he correctly stated that Bob Miles was a Democrat, so he knows history. Mr. Hardeman, share with me how you would describe your tax policy.
My what?
Tax policy.
My tax policy is, I had it no tax at all, but I know that is not feasible. My tax policy is that I do all I can not to raise them. I don't believe in raising taxes. I believe we should live within our means as a government. Just like individual households are required to live within their means, the government is no different. And being efficient with the taxpayers' dollars is the ultimate goal. So no taxes for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you. We are nearing the conclusion of the allotted time, so we thank you for coming in this evening. We also thank you for taking the time to apply for this position.
Thank you.
You're invited to stay, but you're not required to. If you do wish to stay, Administrator Byrd will walk you back to the conference room and we'll proceed with the next applicant.
Thank you. Good night, gentlemen.
The next individual we have this evening is Mrs. Christiana Hartman. Good evening, Mrs. Hartman.
Evening, Commissioners.
You will have up to 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board. And then after that, the board will have about 12 minutes or so to ask you questions and we'll go from there. So at this time, the floor is yours.
Hi. Good evening, Commissioners, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Christiana Hartman. I'm a lifelong resident of Livingston County and lived in Iosco Township for the last 30 years. I am here today because I deeply care about the communities of District 3 and want to serve thoughtfully, like Commissioner Sample provided with such distinction for us. Professionally, I bring more than 30 years of experience in manufacturing, engineering, program management to the table. I serve as the Director of Program Management for a company right here in Howell. I currently oversee over $30 million in programs at that company. My skill set includes contract negotiation, risk management, and delivering fiscal results to my company every day. All of these align with the missions of this board for effective and efficient stewardship for this community. I share common values held by many Livingston County residents: fiscal responsibility, protection of our constitutional rights, and preservation of our rural character for future families to come. One thing that I share with many people is that I love this community. Growing up here, and after I graduated, there was no other county that I wanted to live in, no place that I wanted to be to raise my family going forward. And I want that for the children to come for future generations. I understand the importance of continuity. Commissioner Sample served on every subcommittee. My background includes technical problem solving, structured decision-making processes, and that helps prepare me to contribute meaningfully to this board. I know that many issues facing our county are complex: data centers, solar farms, loss of rural character. These weigh on the minds of every single one of our citizens. And they're not always clear-cut. My approach has always been to listen carefully, collect the facts, evaluate objectively, and act responsibly for the stakeholders. I'm seeking this appointment after careful review of the obligations associated with it. Each commissioner has an obligation to their district, and I have a sincere desire to serve mine. I would be honored to continue to serve in the manner that Commissioner Sample did for our district, with humility, accountability, and respect for the values that define this community. I believe government bodies work more effectively when they are aligned on governance. I promise to serve in the best interest of our community if selected. Thank you for your time this evening. And I guess with that, questions for me.
Thank you. Questions, Commissioner Deaton?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Hartman, sometime commissioners will take on a project or champion a resolution. Do you see one thing in our county where you would like to improve, and how would you champion it? And
I think some of the background with capital planning and infrastructure, especially EMS management. Obviously, this community has grown greatly since I first even started in Iosco Township. Our fire hall used to be on the north side of Fowlerville downtown. So having that second substation on the south side of the railroad tracks has really improved service for my community. Additions of EMS stations throughout the community as well. Growing up, my father was actually on the Livingston County Ambulance Service. I know there were several places throughout the county where they would try and station ambulances, but this board has really increased that emergency infrastructure for our residents that makes this community even safer and better to live in.
thank you.
Additional questions? Commissioner Helserman?
I asked the crazy questions, but as you see, this board is all, all male. How would you as a female think that would be an addition to our board? I know you're an engineer, so you look at the facts and not necessarily this particular item. But just talk about that if you would.
Yeah, I think that's a very good question. So you did touch on it. I am a manufacturing engineer by education. graduated from Lawrence Technological University. At that time, when I was at university, it was about 1 female for every 20 males at our university. Throughout my career as a manufacturing engineer, I've often been the only female in the room. Sometimes it could be challenging, traveling definitely to different countries where there wasn't so much respect, but it's always taught me to just be objective with the situation, sit back and work towards consensus. I think when people start having discussions and viewpoints, I don't know that there's necessarily a male or female viewpoint. I still tend to be fairly analytical, technical basis. So I think from that side, I don't know really how to answer your question per se.
Sure.
From that side, I'm used to being the only female in a room of males and being able to operate calmly, confidently, objectively, and at the task at hand.
Thank you.
Commissioner Drake.
Thank you. Are you willing to spend your time and money campaigning to defend your seat in the future elections, say in 2028?
I am. I feel a strong obligation to serve these community in the manner of supporting our constitutional rights, protecting our rural character, and these are very important to me.
In that regard, do you agree to remember every time you cast a vote that you must support both the Michigan and federal constitutions?
I do, and I take that obligation seriously.
Do you also recognize and agree that every vote you cast, you also must stay 100% inside the 21 enumerated statutes? It's like a silo we're in. And that even though something might sound terrific or nice or happy, we just can't get involved in roads or utilities, K through 12 education, clothing, housing, insurance, food, or even charity. They're just off limits to us. You understand that?
I do understand that, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Commissioner Gross.
Ms. Hartman, how would you see yourself balancing continuing your day job and being available for county business, particularly Monday evenings when we have meetings?
I have a lot of capacity to expand my availability for sure. From a work standpoint, I work at a company that has a normal operating pattern. We typically are 5 o'clock in the morning till about 2:30 is when our crews leave. So that leaves me widely available in the afternoons, as well as I have flexible abilities to do daytime assignments outside of normal work hours or inside normal work hours as well. I live and work right here in this community, so I can be available to support this commission and this board in that regard.
As a follow-on to that, we are getting into our annual budget process. And in that regard, in the month of September, we're going to have we have scheduled 3 all-day budget work sessions on a Wednesday. Might you be available to participate in some of that, perhaps?
Absolutely. I do have PTO as well that I can take for personal ventures, such as serving on a county board, and I would be willing to do that.
One additional question. This board has been for a long time and is 100% conservative. And in that regard, being conservative, we are also pro-life, 100%. I'm wondering what your thoughts are with respect to right to life.
I believe in pro-life. I'm a Catholic. I have a hard time justifying that life does not begin at conception, personally and honestly. I understand that people have the right to make their own decisions. I don't believe that I have the ability to overstep people's decisions. That's their choice to make and their responsibility that they have to face with their maker at some point in their life.
Thank you.
Commissioner Nakagiri.
Thank you. Ms. Hartman, describe for me your tax policy.
I think taxes should serve the community, but they need to have some financial stewardship. Every dollar that we collect from citizens should be used for things that support the community as a whole. Like you said, charity, clothing, all of these non-value add that doesn't support the tax basis at all. I love that this board had a balanced budget, that we like to protect the AAA bond rating so that if there need to be bonds that are taken, they're at really great interest rates for the citizens. But again, the policy needs to be balanced and support the overall betterment of the community. Fire services, EMS stations, our airport, things along that line within this community for the community as a whole and not special interests.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Helserman.
We would like the person that we appoint to have the support of the community in that they would be reelected in 2 years. How do you see have you run for public office with an election? And how do you see that you would be able to run and win the support of the community in a public vote?
That's an excellent question. No, I have not run for public office before.
Okay.
So to run for public office in the reelection cycle, I would have to put forth the effort to be visible to the members of District 3. I currently attend township meetings in Iosco Township where I live, but that would have to expand it to the other communities within the District 3 community, Putnam Township, Unadilla, Hamburg, and Handy Township meetings as well, to get out in front of the constituents of those districts and let them know that I'm here to serve them. I believe yourself, when you were running, knocked on my door one time because I believe
Okay.
you were running in Iosco Township, and I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting out there, knowing the people, knocking on the door and using that grassroots. I had a lot of respect for you to knock on my door, introduce yourself, and then ask me how you could serve me before you asked for my vote.
Mm-hmm. So, good.
Any additional questions? Well, we certainly appreciate you coming in this evening and taking the time to apply. You're invited to stay, but you're not required to. If you do wish to stay, though, Administrator Byrd will take you back to the conference room and we'll proceed.
All right, thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. It was shared with me that the next applicant on this evening's agenda has decided to withdraw from consideration. So we will be proceeding on to Mr. Jeffrey Steinaway. Good evening, Mr. Steinaway.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing?
We're doing well this
Good.
evening. You will have up to 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board. After that, the board will have about 12 minutes to ask you questions and we'll go from there. So when you're ready, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me with you tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Again, my name is Jeff Steinaway. I hope you have my letter of interest and my professional resume with you in your packet.
Yes.
I'm a retired engineer. I live in Pinckney. I live in Hamburg Township, and I'm a native of the state of Michigan. I've lived in Livingston County now for 40 years. From 86 to 92, I lived in the city of Brighton. and in my current home in Hamburg Township from 1992 until today, through today, and I plan to live there for many more years. I'm a native of Ann Arbor, raised in Washtenaw County. My ancestors came here in the mid-1800s and settled in Michigan, and I haven't left and I haven't wandered very far. And I'm proud of the state of Michigan. I'm an advocate for the state of Michigan, for tourism, for the love of the state, and I'm an advocate for Livingston County. I'm proud of our county, our fiscal responsibility, our safety. Our infrastructure is sound and we are well managed, and I think it reflects well on this commission, and the commission reflects well on the county. And that's the root of where my interest is. I recognize that Mr. Sample is no longer with us, and wish to throw my hat in the ring to be a candidate to fulfill his seat respectfully. I've raised my children in Pinckney. They're products of Pinckney schools, and they are thriving young adults now, and I'm proud of them as well. I'm a degree mechanical engineer. I retired about 1.5 years ago, and I enjoy retirement now at my home in Pinckney. Travel a little bit and enjoy home improvement projects, helping others, advocating for others, helping family and friends. And I thank you for the opportunity to meet with you tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Questions? Commissioner Deaton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Steinaway, every now and then a commissioner will lead a project or have a resolution to move through to make our county better. Do you see one thing in our county that you would like to improve, and how would you do it?
Well, I don't know of any particular projects that I'd like to grapple right now. I'm not as closely familiar with them to select one, but I'd like to draw on my ability to be a good listener, to apply my engineering skills that are oriented in continuous improvement, to be fact-based analyzing of given situations, hear out those that are involved, work to bring resolution through cooperation and through accepting and listening to impact or input from others. I really want to extend my professional experiences and bring them potentially into this commission.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Helserman.
In looking over your resume, you have not had very many long stays. I think 5 years was the highest. Could you talk a little bit about how your career advanced that made you make these, my question is, are you a long-term person or a short-term person?
Sure.
Because we'd like a long-term person here on the council as much as possible.
Sure, understood, sir. I'd like to point first of all to my initial experience with Williams International that actually started in 1981 and extended to 1998. So initial run of 17 years.
Okay.
From there, I chose to leave when others were promoted ahead of me when I felt I deserved the opportunity.
Okay.
I left to start my own small business and started a precision machine shop and manufacturing engineering service company from scratch, and probably developed that and sold it after a 5-year period when my largest customer became overwhelming, if you will, and I developed a buyout operation. Subsequent to that, I did move around probably over 4 to 5 years, sir, and it came from a variety of situations, either growth opportunities or closed opportunities due to certain situations in my employment. In terms of long-term, I'd like, again, go back to my residence here in Pinckney and Hamburg Township since 1992 with no intention to leave.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Drick.
Thank you, Chair. Are you willing to spend your money and your time campaigning to defend your seat in the future elections, such as in 2028?
Yes, sir, I am.
Do you also agree to remember that every vote you cast must support the Michigan and federal constitutions?
I understand that and I do.
Finally, do you recognize and agree that every vote you cast must stay 100% inside the 21 enumerated statutes that authorize us to act? It's like a silo we're in. You understand that?
I do.
And even though they might sound terrific, there are certain things we can't get involved in, like roads, utilities, K through 12 education, clothing or food needs, housing, charity, or insurance. We don't have the authority because the statute doesn't give it. We're not everybody come with all problems and we'll solve it. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any additional questions? Commissioner Gross.
Thank you. You've got quite a background in the engineering environment, and I'm wondering, potentially this board might be looking at situations regarding approval and placement of solar farms and or data centers. I'm wondering, do you have any thoughts about those two activities?
Well, first of all, I don't have any experience with either one. In terms of placement of them, I think it's a very controversial topic right now, both an impact to local residents. And I think step one, we need to go back to what Commissioner Drick mentioned. We have a silo in which we're permitted to operate within. So we first must respect that. And then it's a matter of listening, I believe, to the community and understand what the residents and property owners of the community in the respective area, whether it be a township, precinct or district of the county or what have you, in that local area must be heard out, respected, and operated within. And I believe that's where one of my strengths in engineering comes back to fact-based decision-making, taking emotions out of any decision-making process and dealing with the facts.
Okay, good, thank you. One more question, if I may, more of a personal nature, I guess. This board has been historically and is now 100% conservative. And in that regard, we are 100% pro-life. I'm wondering what your thoughts might be with respect to right to life.
Sure, I am 100% right to life and very conservative myself. I'm a proud conservative. I've actively supported the Trump administration. I traveled to Washington for the inauguration. There were no outside events, did not attend any. Was proud to be there as a patriot and join in with many other patriots. It was one of my most enjoyable times in 2025.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Nakagiri.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Steinway, for joining us and applying.
Sure.
I would like to understand your thoughts with regards to what you would like to accomplish on behalf of your district and behalf of your county, with either in general or if you have any specific thoughts there.
Sure, I don't have any specifics, but in general terms, Commissioner, I want to honor Mr. Sample's work. I want to follow on in that regard. I want to be a strong representative for the District 3 citizens and work as a fellow conservative within the commission constraints. I want to be a good listener. I want to bring my engineering background and work with others to do the best for our county.
Describe for me what your tax policy would be.
as low as possible, or is my preference. I take my finances very seriously, and I happily live in the Hamburg Township community, and my taxes, my property taxes are what I would still term relatively low, having left the city of Brighton 34 years ago. And I'm pleased with that. I think it's imperative that tax dollars are applied in as responsible and efficient manner as possible, and fully respectful of the source of those dollars.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Any additional questions? Well, we are nearing the conclusion of this segment, so we certainly appreciate you coming in this evening, and we also appreciate you taking the time to consider and apply for this position. You're invited to stay, but you're not required to. And if you do wish to stay, our Administrator Bird, will walk you back to the conference room, and we will proceed forward.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. The next applicant that will be interviewed on this evening's agenda is Mrs. Holly Taylor Stebbins. Good evening, Mrs. Taylor Stebbins.
Good evening.
You will have 3 minutes to share whatever you wish with the board. And then following that, it'll be about 12 minutes or so where the board will raise questions and we'll go from there. So at this time, the floor is yours.
Hey, good evening. My name is Holly Taylor Stebbins. I live in the village of Pinckney. I am 6th generation in Pinckney, Putnam area. My family has been here for very, very, very long time in that same community. Currently, I work in the Planning Commission with the village. I am very excited to be working in the Planning Commission, but to be able to do things for my community, but this would be a great way to expand being able to help my community. I'm very fiscally conservative. I love doing budgeting and financing and things like that. So that's one of my things that I enjoy doing. I'm married and I have a very close-knit family.
Thank you. Anything else you wish to share?
I mean,
No.
I've been in the community for a long time. I'm an IT person by trade, and I am semi-retired and looking to expand my community efforts more.
Thank you. This time I'll open up for questions. Commissioner Deaton?
Sure, Mr. Chair, thank you very much. Ms. Taylor Stebbins, from time to time, commissioners will take on a project and champion it, an issue in the county. Do you see an issue in the county that you would like to champion, and how would you work it?
Well, I think that budgets and finances are very important, and I enjoy working with those types of things. We've been working on our budget right now, the master plans and our master budgets, and I enjoy doing that type of work.
Any one issue you see in the county that you'd like to work on, or?
Well, at times are tough and, but we still need to be able to have our budgets. Everyone has to have a budget and plan, and it's important to provide the services, but be fiscally conservative too.
Thank you.
Well, any other questions? Commissioner Hausman?
I'll go for a question. Does this remind you of school, the teacher going alphabetically and you being one of the last ones that you had more time to prepare or more time to be nervous?
This is my married name. My maiden name through school was H, so it was right in the middle.
Okay, well, I'm an H too, so.
You know how it went.
I was never first.
We're
but-
never first and never last.
Yeah, never first and never last, so. I think maybe as you see, the board now is all male. And sometimes we get criticism for that. And how do you think that a woman like yourself would be a good addition to our commission?
Yes, females in community organizations. I've been really happy with getting more engagement in the communities. And as a female in a male-dominated field, because I worked in IT for so long, I'm used to being able to kind of be the only woman around type thing. And, but no, I think that maybe we should have some more female engagement in our committees.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Commissioner Drake.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Are you willing to spend your time and money campaigning to defend your seat in future elections such as 2028 coming up?
Absolutely. I would not even be applying for this if I wasn't thinking of doing the reelection and campaigning for that. And going around, I can door knock, I love going to the Howell Melon Festival. We have our art in the park. We've got Food Truck Friday coming up this Friday. I always try to go up there, talk to constituents. And yes, I would love to be able to do that and be reelected for the position.
Are you willing to remember that every vote you cast must support both the Michigan and federal constitutions?
I believe in the Constitution of the United States, the state of Michigan, very strongly. We have to uphold our constitutions.
Do you recognize and agree that every vote you cast, you must stay within 100% of the enumerated statutes that give us our power?
Absolutely.
We're in a silo here. There's certain topics that other governments above us or below us might enter into, but we can't, such as roads or utilities, K through 12 education, clothing needs, housing, food needs, insurance needs, or even charity. We don't get to do that by statute. Are you willing to stay in that silo?
Yes, in fact, I've learned very much about how the road structure, the road commission works versus you by talking to Mr. Sample on many occasions about our concerns about our roads, and he was able to educate me and help me decipher what his role was versus the road commission.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Commissioner Gross.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Taylor Stebbins, you're currently employed at the University of Michigan, is that correct?
Correct.
So if we appoint you to this board, do you see any problems at all with attending county meetings and attending county business in addition to your day job?
I would be committing myself to this position. And I'm already somewhat semi-retired, but I would be committing myself 100% to this position. I would be no longer employing myself in another entity.
And then one additional question. This board has been for a number of years very, very conservative. And in that regard, we're also very pro-life. I'm wondering what your position is with respect to right to life.
As a woman, I feel that everyone has a decision to make, and that's their decisions to make, not my decision. But I believe everyone has a right to their decisions.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Commissioner Nakagiri.
Thank you for joining us. you know, it was mentioned earlier about the desire, you know, to have whoever we appoint, you know, campaign vigorously and win on behalf of their constituents. Do you have experience or share with me any experience you've had campaigning for others or yourself if you've attempted to run for office in the past?
I have not attempted to run for office in the past. I have been appointed to my position in the Planning Commission. And I'm always asking people on both sides what their views and points are. But I've never campaigned for anyone, and I don't necessarily feel like that was something that I have ever wanted to do. But I am very active in when people are campaigning, hearing what they have to say for my vote. My vote's important just as everyone else's vote is important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions among the commissioners? At this time, that concludes this interview.
Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your contributions to our county. I think it's really important to be active in your county. And I appreciate you all taking the time to talk to me.
Well,
All right, thank you.
Coming in.
we appreciate you taking the time to apply and coming in this evening. And what we'll do is in a moment, you're actually welcome to take a seat because we're going to invite all the candidates in, and we will proceed with our deliberations and actually our selection of the person who will fill the vacancy left by Commissioner Frank Sample.
I look forward to your decisions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oops.
So we will wait for the candidates to arrive back in the room. Once they do arrive and take their seats, we will proceed to agenda item number 8. So.
Mr. Chair, are we going to, in Monday's meeting, have a recognition for Cindy Denby? Are you thinking of, because she was quite a.
Yes, she held quite a prominent role within the community.
So I would encourage you to consider that. To have a moment of silence for her or whatever. She was a great representative, you know, a lot of things she did.
Yes, yes.
And she mothered our registrar of deeds too, so.
Yes. Yeah, we send out our heartfelt condolences to our current Register of Deeds, Brandon Denby, whose mother, Cindy Denby, recently passed away after a long time battle with cancer. So we certainly he and his family are certainly within our thoughts and prayers at this time.
Thank you.
Administrator Byrd, it's my understanding that all the candidates that are here.
Invited back in, it's their choice.
Okay.
Some, I think there might be some hallway, might be soon, but everybody's been invited back in if they want to.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So at this time, we are at agenda item number 8. First, I want to again thank all the applicants, all the candidates who saw out this position. It's certainly been very difficult for me personally. There's such a high caliber of experience, knowledge, and background among each applicant. And I was wondering if the interviews might make the decision any easier, and everybody still managed to certainly impress me. So I want to commend everyone who came in this evening and applied for this position. And also like to encourage everyone to keep in mind that we do hold a very significant responsibility. The 8 of us are going to be responsible for making a decision that typically thousands of people decide on to fill this seat this evening. And so we're only permitted to select one person, of course. And I would like to acknowledge or perhaps request that we still keep in mind the example that Commissioner Frank Sample led, in that we may disagree or things may not turn out the way we had hoped or preferred, but we can still remain friends, we can remain friendly, and we can avoid animosity and hurt feelings. So with that being said, the way this will work is the first candidate to receive 5 votes among the Board of Commissioners will then be proposed to be brought forward to fill the vacancy for the remainder of the term. We will go down the row and we'll start with Commissioner Drick. Each commissioner will have 1 vote. They can select the person that they wish to proceed. If a candidate does not reach 5 votes, then there'll be an additional round of voting, with the candidates who receive the least amount of votes not proceeding forward through the next round. And again, the first candidate to receive 5 votes will be the one proposed to proceed forward. So I will start with the Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners, Commissioner Drick. Who do you wish to submit your vote for?
Norris Hardiman.
Commissioner Panovich?
And Gebauer.
Okay. Commissioner Nakagiri?
Norris Hardiman.
Commissioner Gross?
Norris Hardiman.
Commissioner Deaton?
Norris Hardiman.
Commissioner Domas?
Norris Hardiman.
Commissioner Helserman?
Dennis Brennan.
And I propose my vote for Mr. Norris Hardiman. By my count, Mr. Norris Hardiman has secured 6 votes among the Board of Commissioners. Therefore, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Norris Hardiman to fill the vacancy of the District 3 Livingston County Commissioner seat.
I'll make that motion, Roger Deaton.
I'll second.
Okay. The motion was made by Commissioner Roger Deaton. It was seconded by Commissioner Vice Chairman Jay Drick. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
The motion is approved with 7 votes to 1. Therefore, congratulations, Mr. Norris Hardiman. You have received the appointment to the Livingston County Board of Commissioners. At this time, we will proceed to the second call of the public this evening. If anybody wishes to address the board, you'll have 2 minutes to do so. And just please state your name and municipality.
Steve Williams, Marion Township, followed by Chuck Wright.
Good evening, and I'd like to offer my congratulations to the newest commissioner, and I will compliment you guys on carrying forward a very good, I think, very fair and very detailed process. I think it went very well, and for what that's worth. I'd also compliment you on coming forward and being so upfront about how conservative we are in this county and how much we care about children. And I would ask for you to actually act on those words. Okay? I don't see that. I don't see that in the family courts. I don't see that level of support. What I see is kids that have been bullied by a parent. And we talk a lot about being right to life and pro-life. And of course, that's how I started my career in 2000, running against a candidate or an incumbent Republican state rep who had voted against the ban on partial birth abortion. So I think I have some credibility and some history here. And those of you that served with me on the board also know that I have my own conservative bona fides. However, I would like to see more action on the board, because regardless of if you think that we don't control the roads, we appoint the commissioners appoint the road commission. And you may not make rulings in the courts, but you also have a bully pulpit every time you sit here to talk about what we expect in this county in terms of taking care of children. Same thing with the public education. You know, in some states, the Board of Commissioners actually do control the schools. We don't here. There's no reason that you can't stand forward and support those children that are in education. And just because they're not 18 yet and you can't solicit their vote does not mean that you can't help them out. And again, I will reference the comment made by one of the commissioners to my right a couple of weeks ago, that 3 weeks of being abused is an awful long time in the life of a child. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chuck Wright, Handy Township, followed by Stephanie Booth.
I'd just like to say that I'm impressed with the number of engineers that applied this evening. Engineers take data, analyze situations, and make choices based on that. And I think it's great that we've had engineers apply and had an engineer actually got appointed to the position. And I'd like to see more engineers get involved in politics. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephanie Booth, City of Howell.
Okay, just wanted to say that the state law allows abortion, and if you're going to do that to your employees, like get into their abortion records, it's really wrong. I wasn't forced, but so that I might live to see my son finally get to college, thank God. I wouldn't be here if I didn't have intervention. And I don't think going into the whole thing about, you have no idea what it's like, how hard it was to lose 3 children. Some were miscarried. The hardest one was the first one, when it was, the odds were 90% chance of stillbirth or miscarriage. And so they said, to save everything now, we better take intervention. So you're going to tell your employees to seek help elsewhere because you care about life. I mean, you're essentially saying that women are just promiscuous and they're just using it as birth control, which could be further from the truth, except for I'm sure there are exceptions to that. If you know about them, I'm curious too. Okay, the opioid issue, I have a set of personal feelings around opioids, as I'm sure many do. For you to want to probe the records of 116 employees and their personal physician, that's a privacy issue. To be the second county in the nation to do it, it's kind of disturbing. It sounds like more of an experiment than a sound thing. You've gotten us into lawsuits, and so I would remind a new commissioner to be mindful of getting into lawsuits over these privacy issues.
Thank you.
I have no further cards.
Could I make a commissioner comment?
Let me review if there's anyone on Zoom who wishes to. So is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to address the board at this time at the second call of the public?
There's nobody on Zoom.
Okay. Commissioner Hauserman.
Yeah, so this is kind of a call to the public or commissioner comment, maybe more. I'm just thankful for each candidate we have. It was a very strong field. There were reasons to vote for every single one of them. And I'm just thankful for each one that put their effort into it. And just want to commend each one that did it. So
Thank you, Commissioner Hausman.
very strong field.
At this time, the second call of the public is now closed. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Deaton, supported by Commissioner Helserman. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned.